One of the other products that we want to talk about today is the TurboLogix EV for the MP3. The MP3 has been a product of Ingersoll Rand that's been in the field for many years. Probably close to 30, 31, 32 years now. We developed it in '84, released it in '86, and it's been around in some form or fashion worldwide ever since then. So now a lot of these boards and a lot of the products of the old MP3s are starting to fail. So we've got a retrofit kit called the TurboLogix EV-MP3 that is a direct replacement pretty much for this product. We'll go through just briefly how it all installs. An MP3 is characterized by the old faceplate that's shown up here, as well as the board that is mounted on the back plate or the back of the door. So what we're doing is we're replacing this product right here, and we're also replacing this with newer technology. And it'll give your machine that's operating with the MP3 a definite performance enhancement as far as capability for turn down control, surge response, surge control. We'll have the same nice features that the TurboLogix has for any other machine, such as density control and discharge pressure control for your throttle line adjustment. You can utilize now the load sharing capabilities that are available through a TurboLogix EV system with all the others. So all these features now can be upgraded into the older machine that utilizes the MP3. The big difference between a TurboLogix EV system for the MP3 and the CMC are this. The CMC kit has got more work done inside the control panel, whereas the TurboLogix MP3 kit has a lot more work to be done outside on the compressor. For example, each system that we ship will come standard with a couple of RTD transmitters that are to go into the first stage air temperature sensor housing as well as the oil temperature housing. And what that does, that replaces the 3-wire RTD signal that used to run all the way back to the board on the MP3, replaces it with a much more reliable 4 to 20 milliamp signal that's going to be out there on the compressor. Also, to accommodate our surge sensing capability and also our throttle line adjustment, we have to have a discharge pressure sensor that goes in place of the line that's on the compressor for the surge sensor. So you remove the surge sensor line, pull out that, put our sensor in. That has to be wired back to the control panel. So the customer has to come up with some conduit and then some additional wiring to go back to the control. And just like the CMC, we also have to have an inlet air temperature sensor, which comes as part of the package, that will mount with a thermal well out on the intake piping. And all of this has to be wired back to the control panel so that we can accommodate those signals back and make these adjustments and give us the capability to improve your turn down. So that's some of the brief differences that you're going to see. Now I'm getting ready to open the door up and I'll show you what the new TurboLogix card looks like in replacement of the MP3. This device will mount into the door in place of the old MP3 panel, and it looks nice and clean now. One of the big differences, we used to use the pluggable terminals on the ends, and to get away from that and make this a much more reliable installation, now we're going to be taking the wires out and just as a one-to-one replacement, moving those wires into the connector on the MP3 board or the new TurboLogix EV MP3 card and just attaching those in that fashion. Along with your kit, you'll also get some wire ferrules that what we'll do is we'll crimp the ferrules onto those wires and make this termination much more reliable. Now, once this is in place, then basically the next feature that or a function you'll have to do is to mount the door plate. And we're not planning on doing any cutting if we don't have to on the door. So therefore you may want to hold off mounting the TurboLogix EV plate until after you've done the door mounting. But the door is fairly straightforward, and I'll show you that in just a moment here. Once your new TurboLogix is installed, your operator interface is going to go in this location right here, and it'll look something very similar to this whenever you're finished installing that. Okay, so to make this change out, it's very straightforward. What you'll end up doing is you'll start out with a bezel ring, and this is the guy right here. And what you're going to end up doing is you're just going to end up laying this on top of the old faceplate and position it X and Y, whichever direction you want to go to. Take a marker of some type and mark the alignment holes or the mounting holes in the rear. And once those are in place, then you'll just drill those holes, and then you'll put your fasteners through and put the nuts on the back and tighten it up in place. Then you can take the display out. If you want to lift it up slightly and center it a little bit different, you can hold it in place and do the same thing. But what I find the easiest thing to do is just to rest it on top of the old MP3 faceplate, just assure that it's level, somewhat mostly level, and then go through and take a marker and mark your holes for this mounting. And then take that away, drill your holes, put the plate back up, put the fasteners through, and then you're ready to go. And then what we do normally is we'll take the ring where the HMI was mounted, and it's this guy right here. Then you'll go ahead and mount your TurboLogix operator interface on this, and then you'll apply that to the front of the ring. And then at that time, all you have to do is finish your wiring on the inside. Now, let me point out that there is wiring over here that's kind of slightly over to this side that may be a little bit hard to access. So you may want to pull your your 24 volt DC wiring out first. Make your attachments to the back of the operator interface in this location down here, and then go ahead and put it onto the door. So those are a lot of tricks that you can pull that will save you a lot of time and should make the installation very straightforward.